Awesome. So I am going to move us all into our breakout rooms now. So we know that our schedule is quite packed today. And I do want to let you know that we actually have lunch breakout rooms available for you for the next 45 minutes. You are encouraged to grab a sandwich, grab something out of the fridge, anything that you have on hand, and join the lunch breakout rooms. They're designed to be interactive, so it really does give you a hands-on, more workshop-like experience during the summit. So we have 3 awesome sessions. One is how to use questions to unlock your most effective method to attract new donors. That is led by Chris Barlow at Beeline Marketing. And you'll be able to really think through how you can attract new donors for your organization during that session. Also, we have how to navigate Facebook advertising in 2021 for those of you that had questions about Facebook ads in Julia's session. This is the perfect breakout session for you. If you have existing ads right now, they're actually going to be assessing a few ads live. So you can get live feedback from Andrew, who is the founder and CEO at No Typical Moments. Their specialty is Facebook advertising. So I really highly recommend if you have any ads running right now, you can get that live feedback or just learn more about utilizing Facebook ads well. And then we also have the lunch breakout, which is Forces of Nurture, 7 ways to automate donor cultivation. That is led by Isabel Brower, who is the account manager at Whole Whale. So you can really, this session is really all about creating great thank you. So one of the things she sent in her description is that you can't automate empathy, but you can automate a thank you. So join to learn more about the tools that you can be using to really automate your thank yous and your communications well. So you can actually join at those links directly, and then we'll be hanging out. Jenna and I will be here. We'll be hanging out for the next 45 minutes until our next session if you decide to stay on and just chat with us in the meantime. But these 3 awesome sessions for you to check out and interact with these awesome speakers. So.
And then Candace, those are being recorded, right?
Those are being recorded, and yeah, so that will be part of the VIP pass. Yeah, so those speakers are going to be recording their own sessions and sending them to me after, so it might take a little bit longer for those, but should be pretty easy to access. Yeah, so do we have those links directly in the chat? Let me see.
Yep, I posted them in the chat, everyone, so I'm going to repost them just one more time for you all.
So yeah, you can join those links directly and then use that same link how you got here today to join back. They should also be directing you to the link in their session as well. So just make sure you're back at 1:45 for Eric's awesome session, which is going to be all about how you can use key growth strategies learned from nonprofits, from the most innovative organizations in the world. So that is at 1:45 p.m. Eastern, and you're in for a treat at that time. And you're also in for a treat at all of these lunch breakouts. So yeah, enjoy your sessions.
Cool.
Nice.
So it looks like people are making their way.
And anyone that wants to stay on with us, you know, we're here. We're going to be chilling.
What's everyone doing? Like, are you actually eating or are you working?
I hope people are eating. I encourage people to eat, even if they listen in. And we will be
working and eating. How do I find that baker? I'll keep reposting the links for you because it keeps moving. I'll post it one more time for you guys. All right.
I'll go back to the link slide as
Here
well.
here are the breakout links, just one more time.
Thanks, Brandon. Brandon said this is really incredible, by the way.
Oh,
Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming, everybody. This has been so much
yeah.
fun.
This wouldn't be anything without everyone here like contributing to the discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't do it without you guys. So I'm glad everyone's enjoying it so far. I've seen so many really nice comments and just so happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically for the next 40 minutes about, we're just gonna be hanging out. Jenna, if you want to grab food, I'll hang out for a minute here. I can do like an ask me anything. We can just hang out. But
Yeah.
I really encourage people to go to the breakout rooms. But if you specifically want to know more about CauseVox, now is a great time to get all of your questions answered, or just any like general summit questions answered as well. Or just chat with us. You know, where this is designed to be more informal, more interactive. So kind of gives us a break from there's so much good content. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and then not retain anything after. So hopefully this will be kind of a break from that. And yeah, fun times to
Awesome.
interact.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to give a quick rundown of CauseVox for those who are new to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and Jenna, if you want to paste in the link for Janet as well to the Forces of Nurture,
Oh,
we'll
yes.
go back to that. And for those who are still just joining, Lauren, you're able to go directly to these links to access those breakout rooms.
All right, so there's the Forces of Nurture link that I just posted, and I'll go back to the other two as well. I'm going to do questions on how to unlock your most effective method to attract new donors. And then our last option is how to navigate Facebook advertising in 2021.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Jenna. So I wanted to help everyone get where they needed to go before talking about CauseVox, although I'm always excited to talk about CauseVox. So for those of you who are really curious about how you can effectively run digital fundraising at your organization and need a tool to do it, CauseVox is a digital fundraising platform that helps you raise more with less effort. So while a lot of software out there is very clunky, it's complicated and contract bound, CauseVox actually helps you tidy up your fundraising. So we have actually really 5 components now. So we have donation forms. So for those of you who are looking to optimize your donation form to get more conversions, like a lot of what Nathan was even talking about is making sure that donation form is optimized to convert and getting those donors that get to your donation page. Our donation forms are really awesome. You can customize them, copy and paste the embed code right on your website. Very easy to implement. I'll walk through this with our customers all the time, and it takes about 15 minutes to get a brand spanking new donation page that's really designed to convert. One of my favorite things about it is that there's Apple and Google Pay, and it's all mobile optimized. So especially for people navigating on their phones, that's a huge advantage. Again, like one of my favorite things, anytime I have Apple or Google Pay as an option, I always use it. I use Apple Pay constantly. So having that, if you don't already have that on your donation form, I think is going to be a huge plus. So if you're interested in learning more about implementing that, feel free to request a demo. And I would be happy to sit down with you one-on-one and chat through that. Or if you're trying to raise funds for a particular program or anniversary campaign or Giving Tuesday or anything, you can easily use our crowdfunding templates to customize a page that really looks and feels like your nonprofit. You can brand it really easily. And it really is, again, designed to convert your donors and also just make it really easy to fundraise online because there's so many things that are so complicated. And so with peer-to-peer, this is a whole added level onto that crowdfunding template where you actually can have individuals sign up to fundraise on your behalf. And so we've really made it very easy for people to do that. It takes about maybe 60 seconds or less to create a personal page that's customized to them. We give you a lot of the power in your hands to make it quick and easy by defaulting a lot of content. And it really does tend to drive about twice as many donations as those crowdfunding style campaigns, because you're reaching an exponentially wider audience through your supporters. And a lot of our customers who do use peer-to-peer do tend to get a huge boost of new donors in their network from peer-to-peer campaigns. And so also a few months back, we released event ticketing. You can use event ticketing for any virtual, hybrid, or in-person event you might be running. You've all used our event ticketing form to get here today. If you signed up for the summit, you purchased a ticket through our form. If you thought that was a nice experience, you can easily get set up with that as well for your event, and incorporate that into not just a standalone page like you saw with us, but you can also have that incorporated into one of those crowdfunding or peer-to-peer campaigns. So that's a little bit more details about our event ticketing solution. And so what we also just released as a new function on our donation forms is the ability for you to accept pledges. So that is really exciting for us. There's the new auto pledge feature. So your donors can commit to giving, let's say, $1,000 over the course of 1 year or 2 years or whatever they want to decide, and that will automatically charge their card in their appropriate installments. So it really does break down the pledge process and make it automated and easy for you to get those pledges fulfilled, which has been a huge challenge in years past when it comes to kind of moving from like pledges. I feel like we're very like in-person events, you know, in the spur of the moment, they commit to a dollar amount and then you have to follow up with them endlessly to get that fulfilled. Auto pledge just does it right for you, makes it really easy. One of the things I mentioned earlier too was that with anything, any of our sites, whether it be driving people to a donation form or crowdfunding site or a peer-to-peer campaign, there's been a lot of that use of like a QR code to drive people there, either at an event itself or just, you know, through any device, or just simply driving people to those pages via email is really how we see a lot of conversions happen. Yeah, so that's a little bit more about CauseVox if you're interested. Jenna, if you want to paste the demo link, you can schedule a demo and we'll follow up with you in the next couple of days and get a demo scheduled, and I'll sit down with you, or Jenna will sit down with you as well. So yeah, for those of you who are just joining the Digital Fundraising Summit, you are invited to go to a breakout room during this time. It's our lunch breakout sessions. They're super awesome, and I don't want you to miss out. So I'm gonna go back to my breakout session slide so that you can be sure that you access those awesome lunch breakout rooms, because you definitely don't want to miss all these great insights. So Chris Barlow is leading you through a conversation about attracting new donors. Andrew at No Typical Moments is giving you a brief talk about Facebook advertising and how you can really use that well for your organization, and also doing a live workshop of real Facebook ads. So please take a look at that session if you have not done that already. And then also there's Forces of Nurture, 7 ways to automate donor cultivation. So really automating that welcome process. So when you do get a new donor, how are you actually stewarding them and building that relationship through automated tools? So a lot of nurturing in the past has been very heavy on your end, where you have to, you know, particularly reach out to everyone individually, which there's still, of course, a place for that, because you do want to build those one-on-one relationships. But there's also a lot of automation that you can take advantage of to make that process easier and make your life easier. So that is led by Isabel Brower at Whole Whale. You can access that. We should have all of those links right there in the chat. So if you do want to go to one of those breakout rooms, I recommend it. They're going to be really awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back and share a little bit more about the summit as a whole. So the summit this year is really all about, or the inspiration for our theme this year is all about this survey actually that I ran a few months back, where I asked nonprofit professionals what their biggest challenges are at the moment. And the number one most common answer was growing fundraising. And the very close second was limited time and resources. And I took a look at this data and I took a look at all these awesome responses. And I really felt like that these two things were very intimately connected, because if you don't have the time and the resources to invest in growing fundraising, you're going to be stunted. So that's why we've made the Digital Fundraising Summit and designed it for you this year. So our sessions are all about the little guys, those small but mighty nonprofit teams that are all trying to grow fundraising at your organization and grow your reach at your organization with limited time and resources. So this is all about equipping you with the digital strategies for you to accomplish more with less, with limited time and effort. So all of this kind of goes back to this idea of the digital fundraising cycle. So if you're going to succeed as a nonprofit online, there's 4 stages that you need to be implementing at your organization, or just to think about when it comes to your approach to digital. So the first stage is attracting as many potential people interested in your nonprofit as possible. So a lot of our sessions so far today, about using the Google Ad Grant, and even Nathan's session about communicating why a donor should give or even give you their email. Julia's session on social media. All of this is really around the attract and nurture stages, where you're trying to widen that audience and really get to those people who are going to be interested in your mission. And so once you get them in the door, you get their email one way or the other, or you get their or you get them to follow you on social media or engage with you in some way. Now they're in your network and you have the power and responsibility to nurture them well. So educating them on your programs, sharing stories that really drive action, and getting letting your donors get to know you, or potential donors get to know you, so then you can convert them into donors. So and then at that stage, that's really pivotal, because you can do an amazing job of attracting and nurturing your community, but if you have a donation form that isn't optimized to convert, that's also going to stunt your growth. So all of these things ultimately connect together to help you grow your fundraising. And once you get those donors through the door, it's really important to steward those relationships and continue to nurture them and convert them again, because it takes a lot more to attract a new donor than it does to retain an existing donor. So once you really think about digital fundraising as a cycle, as an ongoing process that you can implement throughout the year, it really does help you sustainably grow your fundraising. All right. So if you have missed any sessions that you wanted to catch, you can get a VIP pass. So in case you can't make it, or know you won't be able to make some sessions later or tomorrow, we're recording everything, and we're also have an official summit note taker taking excellent notes. Last year, our notes were, I think, 44 pages long. They're very detailed, but they also give you the basic information that you need to just go over a lot of these key learnings at a glance. A lot of those links that they mention, or resources, all are in those notes as well. So you don't have to dive back into all of those slides just to get a link, basically. So the VIP pass is $45. You can purchase it. And we'll also be including that link of where you can purchase that in the chat. With all of this, there's been so many great resources that have been shared. Nathan just mentioned the discount on the NIO, Nonprofit Innovation and Optimization Summit. So you can get that using that code, but that is not virtual virtual. It's in Austin, so keep that in mind. Tons of giveaways coming up still. So we only did one tote bag giveaway, but we'll be giving away more later. All right, so I do want to actually go back to my giveaway slide for a moment here, because I mentioned you can purchase that VIP pass, of course. But when you share the Digital Fundraising Summit with 10 people, I'll actually give you a free VIP pass. So when you share the summit, and just bring more people to the table. If one person shows up, great. If all 10 show up, awesome. If you want to invite more than 10, there's just so much great information going on here. So I have some templates that you can use to actually share the summit. So you can take a look at that Google Doc, copy and paste those invites, and let me know. And I will send you the promo code for a free VIP pass. All righty then. Hey, so awesome. Let's just have some time to interact. Does anyone have any questions for me or for Jenna? I'd love to go over any and all questions that you have, whether it's summit related or CauseVox related or just in general about, we can talk about our hobbies that we're asking everybody about. We have our nonprofit performance showcase later. So would love to hear from you as well about what hobbies or special skills you have. So, all right. Going back to that lunch breakout room slide for a moment. For those of you who are just joining, you can join one of those lunch breakout rooms. There's the direct links to them in the chat, and you can join right away and just come back here at 1:45 for our next session. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute and let's just hang out.
Yeah, I think Connie has a question.
Awesome.
We are a trade association starting an apprenticeship program. Would this type of fundraising benefit that type of organization?
Cool. Yeah, I would love to hear more about your organization, but there's a lot of education-based nonprofits and or equipping, like all about equipping people to succeed, that use our platform for various types of fundraising. So whether it's just donation form on your website, or maybe if you need to fund that apprentice program, you can run like crowdfunding. Something that I see a lot of similar organizations do is if there's like a cost that you put on those apprentices for participating, you can also equip them to fundraise for their cost of being in the program. So that's pretty cool. That's an opportunity. I see a lot of that with especially like service-based like summer programs where it costs maybe $3,000 to participate in this volunteer-led program, and yeah, they basically just equip all of those participants to fundraise for what they need to do to participate in the program, and yeah, gives people another option other than paying for it out of pocket. So I'm not sure exactly all the details of how your programs work, but would be happy to connect with you. So yeah, I'll go ahead and Jenna, if you want to put in the schedule a demo link, Connie, I'd be happy to set up some time to chat with you.
Awesome. So what else does everyone want to learn about today?
Let's chat about digital fundraising. So I'll ask you all the same question that I asked in the survey. What are your biggest challenges when it comes to digital, what are your personal biggest challenges at your nonprofit?
I guess time management could easily be a challenge at any nonprofit too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, advice on time management. So, um, yeah, great question. I want to know how, if you have any advice on time management while working in this field. I'm in my final semester of undergrad and really want to shine in this time of work environment. So I guess what are some things that I do personally? I definitely just like every morning I start off my day by making a list. For whatever reason, it helps me to write it down. You can also use something digitally, but for whatever reason, it does help me to write down a list of everything I have to do in priority. And so it just gives me like a nice, easy visual for me to make sure that I get to all the tasks and all the important tasks on in a timely manner. And there's some days that I don't make it to the end of that list, and then because I've already written it out in order of priority, I can move it to the next day. So I think that's just like one easy tip that I've done just all the time. But yeah, I mean, I think like blocking off portions of your schedule, because with a lot of nonprofits, like everyone is wearing so many hats. So it really is hard to do that context switching back and forth. So like there are some people at nonprofits, I'm sure a lot of you are one of them, that kind of manage everything. So you do fundraising and marketing, and you do also, have so many things on your plate, events that you're planning. So I would also block off times in your calendar, just so that you know that you have some time set aside to accomplish certain task.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, Jenna, what do you think? Any
Yeah, I
recommendations?
think like making those visuals really clear just on your like, on your desk and in your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use. I also heard like an effectiveness strategy to uh to do the highest priority tasks when you are uh, most productive. So like some people are really productive in the morning, and so they should do their like most important or like most rigorous tasks when in the morning then, or maybe like you're most effective in the afternoon after lunch or just before lunch, but being able to structure your day based on how you work during the day, and putting those like maybe lower priority tasks in a part of the day when maybe you are not as effective, or have lower energy, for example. Yeah, and I also heard the idea of like concentrating, always concentrating on those like whatever's 80% of your 80% of your mission or like 80% of your result, to invest in that higher percentage task or individual or donor base, or whoever is giving you the most for your organization, to invest more time into them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you think about your day, it's like, if I only get to do one thing today, what is the one thing that I can do that will have the most overall impact? So I think that's a really good question to ask yourself when you look at your list, because there's definitely things that you can do that you're like, I know I should do this. I know I want to do the social media post, but if you know that reaching out to this major donor is, potentially going to like result in a $5,000 donation, like definitely do that. So break it down to like really what is the biggest impact. And I know that there's like a lot of competing, your boss might say you have to get this done, and of course there's different priorities there, but I think I generally do look at things like, what is the biggest impact, and the littlest time that it would take, because if something that has a high impact takes a lot of time, but something that has a medium impact has only takes a little bit of time, then maybe you want to do that medium impact thing first. I guess, does that make sense? Like kind of prioritizing based on level of time investment versus impact as well.
I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a balance there, like in deciding. Yeah, was anybody here for Nathan Hill at Next After, like the 4 parts of a value proposition? Like, I was wondering what people thought about when they had the time to create their own like statement, their value proposition statement. If that was like easy, if it was challenging, if you like created something that you think you're going to use.
That's a good question. Also, just throwing this out there, if anyone wants to come on camera, you can raise your hand and join the conversation with us, because it's kind of boring if it's just 2 of us talking, but you can actually join us and share your thoughts as well. So yeah, all right, let me look at, looks like there's Karen. Come join us, Karen. Hey guys, yeah, feel free if you are on video to participate as well. You can unmute yourselves, and I've just allowed talking for everyone here.
Hi, my name is Giz. I hope everyone is doing well today. Thanks for holding this space. It's been nice. I guess I have one question, kind of unrelated to everything, but like, you know, this is lunchtime, so I may as well go for it. Is there anything that you guys do in the nonprofit sector regarding social media to help build a sort of portfolio for yourself? Like, how do you keep track of all the things that you're doing and how to kind of promote that in your work? Say you wanted to take on another client or something like that.
Jenna, do you want to answer that?
Great question. So how do you create a social media portfolio for your specific organization or for your clients?
I guess for clientele, I just want to be able to kind of record everything that I've been doing so that I can, you know, offer that to, I guess, future employers and stuff like that. I'm about to be graduating at the end of this year, so I just want to kind of know how I can do that.
Oh, I see. I see. That's, yeah, I think being able to just like track them within any document, I suppose, just like a copy and paste of your content. Or even
I would, I guess like what I do a lot is I'll check our analytics of the posts that, you know, I make or Jenna makes. And so I would not only take either a screenshot or copy and paste the embed code of that or just the direct link, but also make sure that you're like keeping track of like the reports and the analytics on social media. This is like a little tangential, but I figured I'd paste it in because I do think it's really helpful. Julia, who spoke earlier, actually did a social media marketing calendar intensive with us a few months back. You can actually purchase that if you're interested, and she includes a bunch of really awesome templates that you can use to, you know, plan social media for the way forward. And so they're very, very useful and easy to implement. So that's always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I know there's a few others on that are hoping to chat. Welcome.
Hey, Candace.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. This is Eric Linson from Community Boost. He's going to be leading our session at 1:45. Right now we're in a lot of the lunch breakout sessions. So everyone's coming back at 1:45 for your session. So super excited about that. And yeah, basically we're just hanging out. We encourage everyone to grab a bite to eat and just start having a real open-ended conversation, kind of like an Ask Me Anything, just about digital marketing, digital fundraising, nonprofits. So Yeah. That's where we're hanging out. Also, our question of the day is, do you have any hobbies or special skills that people don't really know about? We're doing our nonprofit performance showcase later, so we're going to see some like highly skilled people do awesome things. So, but for all of us, all the rest of us, we'd love to hear about your hobbies or skills.
I don't know who you thought you were seeing yesterday, but
Andrea's busy making lunch.
sorry.
No worries. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in New Jersey. I work for a very small Catholic private classical school for K to 12. We only have 240 students, and I'm new to the development world, but I'm doing my best to try to raise money for our mission school.
Awesome. Very cool. Thanks for joining us today. Which sessions did you get the chance to catch?
I've been on since this morning. I've been enjoying everything. I've been taking lots of notes, and I really enjoyed the talk this morning about the social media. I think it was Jennifer that made. Well, I enjoyed all the talks, but when she was talking about strategizing and prioritizing your Facebook donate page, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've, definitely learned from all of our speakers. I think that's one of the fun things about hosting this is I actually get to learn a bunch from some of the best too. So yeah, no, it's been really fun so far. I'm glad you've joined us and are enjoying it. Did you have any particular questions you wanted to ask our team in the meantime?
I mean, I guess I have the age-old issue of I am running campaigns, running major events, trying to create relationships with major donors, doing the social media, like, and even running to Home Depot to pick up donations of plants to make the campus beautiful. So how do I manage my time within all of that? It's daunting, and also writing grants as well.
Whoa, that's a lot on your plate. I mean, it really is what we've seen across the board with like so many of the nonprofits we engage with is that you have like so many things on your plate. For something like, picking up plants or things that even like some social media responsibilities, there might be ways for you to leverage people in your existing audience as well. Seeing if there's like a volunteer or even like, recruit a few students to volunteer. I don't know the age range, but, seeing who's in your network that might be able to pick up some of those pieces for you because, that can always be helpful. And also, one of the things with like, there's a lot of content that needs to be created and sometimes it's hard to find new ways to tell your story. So when you're, kind of like you're all tapped out on creating some content, I would also try to ask your donors and ask your supporters why they support you. And that will usually probably help you get a lot of feedback to then use for your marketing purposes as well.
Good point.
Just kind of like seeing who's in your network. I don't know. Eric, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I think a lot of so there's two things. The first is like from a strategic perspective, I think it's really key to have a plan and understand how each of the tactics we're implementing feed into the overall plan. Because oftentimes we can get stuck in the weeds, like doing tactics, and then you're doing things that look like a shiny new object, but in reality, it's not that as beneficial as something else for like the key metrics we're looking to track. So it takes more time in the beginning to set up a plan, but like the second and third order effects are really beneficial. And then from a tactical perspective, something that we do like internally at Community Boost is we'll like batch work. So it can be a lot to be working on like 10 different things in one day because the switching costs from like one thing to another can be a lot.
Exactly.
But if you batch your work, for example, like I need to create content for like, this ties into making a plan too, for like the next 6 months, take a week and say, I'm not doing anything but content for like the first 4 hours of each day in this week or something. And that way you can like, you don't have to be switching between a bunch of different things. And you can get a lot of the, if you can like predict what you'll need to be doing for a while, like batching it out can be super helpful. I kind of think about like laundry, like we don't wash every single shirt one at a time. Like we wait until it piles up and then wash it all. I don't know if that metaphor is good, but.
Yeah,
I think
thank you.
Awesome. Let's see. Gianna asked, any insights as to where we can go or what we can do to get our donate button on Facebook? We've tuned into the documents, but are not receiving the info. So you can use, Facebook has a tool. I don't personally recommend using it, although maybe I'm a little biased, just because I think it goes through Network for Good still, and sometimes it can take a minute for you to actually get those payouts. So a minute meaning, depending on how you set it up, it's like could be like a couple weeks, or I've heard up to 2 months, but I don't know if that's true necessarily. But that's what I've heard. Yeah, you can actually point it to any your donation page on your website if you want to direct people there. Or if you need a tool to drive people to, we'd be happy to chat about getting you set up with a donation page on CauseVox as well. Cool. Any more questions? I know we only have a couple more minutes here, but there's me, there's Eric, there's Jenna, all here to share just kind of like any questions you have.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if any of you all had a moment where you just needed to hire someone else to do something for you, kind of like a Fiverr situation where it's like super low budget and you just needed some help and you were able to use that. Is that something that's commonplace? I was just thinking about it because I don't necessarily want to do a lot of editing on YouTube, but that's a big part of my job. And while I'm still learning that, I want to be able to have some sort of outside help, and I don't mind getting that outside help. So I just want to know how you all felt about that in the nonprofit social media world.
Yeah. I mean, I think Fiverr is a great resource to outsource some simple tasks to. We've utilized it probably a half a dozen times, maybe even in the last like year or two here at CauseVox for, simple tasks that you can offload to somebody else while you kind of focus on more of those high impact tasks that might require a little bit more expertise. So I highly recommend, if you can get even like a small budget, to offload some of those things that are taking a lot of your time. That's Fiverr's a great place to go for people that can help.
Yeah, a lot of freelancers are looking for more stable like job flow too. So if you can offer like we work with one freelancer like consistently at Community Boost, and he'll give us like better prices because we're giving him like consistent work. So that's the thing as well. It takes a little bit to vet someone that really fits with your like culture and organization, but once you do, it's super beneficial.
Yeah, that's true. Like we definitely keep our freelancers for a long time. So even though you take a little bit of time in investing in getting them for the first time, then you have, basically someone to go to whenever you have one of those tasks come up. So yeah, definitely worth it. All right.